Hello, welcome to episode 65 of Your Ultimate Comeback. I'm Brad Davidson here with my co-host Raquel. How are you?
Happy Friday.
Raquel Perry. Let's be professional about it.
Yeah, I'm sure they were all wondering. Yeah.
The secret's out.
Yes. Yeah.
How's everything been?
Things are good.
Yeah?
Things are good. Yep.
Good.
You and I were just talking before we started rolling about stress.
Yeah, I heard you're under a little.
Well, you know, Apple was not being kind to me.
So what happened?
Okay, first of all, disclaimer, I'm not super tech savvy. I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, I actually learned how to type on a typewriter.
So did I. I remember. Did you have typewriting class in high
yes,
school? Yep.
Yes.
I got to be in it because I hated it so much.
And I still remember the white stuff. What was that stuff called? Whiteout?
Oh, the whiteout?
Yeah, right? But, you know, the computer, I don't think I got one. My first computer, had one at home, you know, back when I was in high school a little bit, you know, the old school Apple that had the bubble back, whatever.
My gosh,
but I really had a computer after my son was born, you know, so that was 2003. So I have not been computer competent for very long and still not. So long story short is when I make the playlist for my classes, you know, I roll and do the stuff and I make sure that they're on my iPad because I take the iPad 2 class. Well, every time I was moving on my my laptop, my Mac, my whatever it's called, MacBook Air or whatever, every time I'd move a song, put the order, it would crash out. The whole app would crash, just completely crash. And at first I thought, well, that's weird. And did it again, crashed again, did it again, crashed again. I must have done it 50 times just to make sure it was.
Yeah.
And then it's, you know, everyone says, oh, you got to shut it down and turn it back on. That's you know, to make these things work again. And for whatever reason, that did not help. So cue 90 minutes later talking to tech support, and they're aware of the issue, but it's not fixed yet.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know. But that kind of stuff drives me insane.
I don't handle it well.
And I really don't, you know. And people start talking like, oh, well, this. They might as well be talking a different language completely. You know, I just want it to work. I don't want to know why it
go away.
Right. I don't know. I don't want to know why it works. Just make it work. And you know, the irony is we have become so dependent upon all this stuff that when it's taken away for a moment, this is why our stress levels are so high, Brad.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, holy cow.
It's funny. I'm glad you brought that up because I was
stress levels.
Yeah. I keep pounding away at this. This is the biggest nemesis to metabolism I see, but no one thinks
about stuff like this.
Stress.
Yeah.
They think they're fine because they're just used to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a tool I wanted to talk about just a little bit. It's by HeartMath.
HeartMath.
Okay. Yeah. And you can actually you put it on your finger and it gives you biofeedback as to if you're stressed or relaxed.
Mine would be like, beep, 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 all the time.
Yeah. And so I was talking to someone about this today.
Is it a ring or is it?
No, it's like a little clip you put on your finger.
Okay.
And then it just gives you just follow along and you breathe to this pattern.
Oh.
And then it tells you when you're stressed and when you're finally out of stress. Yeah. And I was having a conversation with someone. I'm like, look, the problem is your stress. Well, no, I'm eating perfect. I'm like, just the way you're talking to me right now. I can tell you're stressed. Yeah. No, I'm not.
Slow your roll.
Yeah. I said, fine. I said, prove it to me that you're not.
Yeah.
I want you to get this tool and I want you to put this thing on and I want you to show me the first time you put it on that you're not stressed. Mm-hmm. She goes, okay, fine, I'll do that. And I can't wait because I remember years ago I had a CrossFit athlete who was under a lot of stress and didn't want to believe me. Mm-hmm. And so I had at that point I had mine with me. I put it on her, and at this time it was connected to the TV. Now they have like a little mobile unit you can take with you.
Okay.
It was on my computer. I said, okay, great. You're going to prove it to me. Yeah. So I turned her facing away from the screen. I put her on the monitor. I said, hey, whenever you're ready, prove to me you're not under stress. Mm-hmm. She, gets all settled in and sits there, and 3 or 4 minutes go by. I'm like, hey, whenever you're ready to prove to me you're not under stress, go ahead. She goes, I'm not. I'm like, no, you're under stress right now. Yeah. Okay, so she tries a little harder. Mm-hmm. Another 5 minutes go by. I'm like, hey, whenever you're ready to show me you know how to pull yourself out of the stress state, I am ready. Because so far you have not. And she's like, okay, no, I'm not stressed. I'm like, no, you're still stressed. Yeah. A couple more minutes go by. I'm like, okay, I'm ready to give up. Like, if you're not willing to show me you can be there not in a stress state, like this is ridiculous. And she goes, I am not stressed at all right now. I'm like, oh my. So I flipped her around to the face of the monitor so she could see the biofeedback. Yeah. I said, okay, here you go. I want you to just start to do this. And she finally gets to a place where she's not under stress. And she was like, oh my God, this is so hard. I'm like, yeah, do you believe me now that how much, like, you're just used to being under stress? She's like, wow.
Yeah.
So I had that conversation. Just kind of thought, I had the conversation today. You just bring that up.
Yeah.
And I'm just to the point where I'm so frustrated with people because they don't want to believe it.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anybody to be able to just be there and not in a stressed state. It takes training to get us out of this stressed state because of how stimulated we all are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I had another conversation with a client this morning. He's like, it's so weird. When I sleep 8 or 10 hours a night, I wake up the next day, I don't feel as good. What if I sleep 3 or 4 hours a night?
What?
And I said, yeah, that's because when you sleep 3 or 4 hours, you're waking up in a highly stimulated, high stress state. It's been proven through science. If you don't sleep enough, the stress hormones are highly elevated in your bloodstream. So that's the difference if you're waking up in a fight or flight state versus waking up in a rested state. Your body's just not freaking out right now.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
We are so used to feeling stimulated and in a heightened state that it feels weird to be in a relaxed, calm state.
Yeah.
So I until someone proves me wrong that stress is not a big issue that we're dealing with, I just think that it really is.
Well, that you have facts behind you on that, right?
100%
yeah, it's not just it's not just Brad's hypothesis.
Yeah, I wrote a book about it, and gosh, it's worked. Like the whole focus of the book is to pull people out of that high stress state, and it's amazing the results people get.
Yeah,
much better than trying to go to the gym and work out really hard in the same 3-week period.
Yeah. I just think it's part of it is it's no fault of our own.
No. It's the world we live in.
Yes. And I watch it, and I think I've talked about that in here before. I watch it in the classes I teach at the end of the class when we're kind of chilling out, doing more of the mellow stretches, and then we're going to do Shavasana, which is just, corpse pose, it's called, and we're just going to lie there quietly for several minutes. So many people can't do it.
It's very uncomfortable for people to get into that rest and digest state, that parasympathetic relaxed state, because we are not used to it.
Yeah, you're right.
But it's that's why, like, all my emphasis when I speak and when I work with my clients and stuff is a lot of emphasis on recovery strategies and how to calm down, how to relax.
Right.
Because if you can't do that, you can only go so hard so long before a big crash comes. I can tell you how many clients I've worked with over the years that they will just grind and pound and beat themselves into oblivion. And they go and go and go and go until they get sick and end up in the hospital. And that would be their rest and recovery. And then once they're seriously, I can't tell you how many CEO types I've done this. I've had to deal with this with. That was their downtime when they were super sick.
Yeah.
That was their rest and recovery. And then as soon as they got better, boom, they're right back at it.
Grinding it again.
Grinding it again.
Yeah.
You just can't win that way.
Yeah. But, when you have, and my husband is like this, he's guilty of that. When he feels like the world is on his shoulder and he's responsible for a family and taking care of, 3 of us, that's a lot of stress on a
100%
person,
it is.
And so I understand that. And I'm probably not always perfect about being like, hey, I really appreciate you, which shout out Matt Perry, I really appreciate you. But I get it. That's a scary place to be when you feel like you've got the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Yeah.
So that, of course, you're going to be stressed.
Yeah.
But it's I think, and it's easy to talk about, we just need to meditate and do. That's why I'm excited to have, my friend David on that's going to hopefully talk to us a little bit about some real techniques we could use.
Because meditation is hard.
It is.
I remember the first time I went to, no one taught me, I just kind of read about it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to meditate.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to quiet down and get in a state of thinking about nothing. My brain went crazy.
Totally.
I was like, I think I got more stress trying to meditate the first time because I didn't quite know how to do it.
Totally normal.
Our minds are running crazy.
Yep.
Like they are constantly going.
Yeah. But that makes so much sense though. You want to make sure the saber-toothed tiger is not, coming to get you, right? So don't close your eyes.
Which doesn't really happen anymore.
It doesn't?
Hardly ever. Although
Hardly ever.
You hear all the stories about people at like Yellowstone and stuff that see the wild buffalo and want to get up close with the picture.
Dear. Doesn't end well.
It doesn't end well at all.
Yikes.
I've actually read like some stuff around. I can't remember what they call it, but it's at a point where we live in such a safe environment now that we are so unaware of acute stress scenarios that we don't recognize them as a threat now. The threats that we're constantly dealing with are all the what ifs.
Yeah, I'm good
that
at
when we actually find ourselves in a state where, oh my God, a wild buffalo. what a great idea. I'm going to go get my picture next to it.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest thing in the world.
Right.
But like, we're funny. So used to, and they talk about, people get into like high threat states. I actually talked to some SWAT teams about this, live shooter situations that people don't even recognize it's going on, and will not respond to it.
Really?
It's crazy.
Well, is that kind of like, what was the situation that just happened recently that weren't people filming that CEO getting shot?
I think so.
Yeah. So we're more interested in catching it on our phone than we are responding.
There was a.
I think I would have been turned tail and run.
Yeah,
what I
remember Eric McGrath from Bold. Remember Eric?
Yeah, of course.
He tells a story about a McDonald's in Japan or something like that, and a man, I think it's a woman, is eating her meal, and some homeless person comes up, starts giving her hell.
Okay.
And won't leave her alone, and the lady's like not giving them any food or anything. Yeah. And there's all these people in there. And the guy ends up beating her to death.
What? In front of all these people?
And no one did anything.
Oh my.
But like 120 some people filmed it. Yeah, so it's like we're in this weird scenario of we're so overwhelmed with stress that's not trying to kill us,
right?
That we don't
really respond to real stress.
to real stressors anymore.
Yeah, wow.
I mean, when's the last time someone's come up and tried to kill you?
Yeah. Hopefully not. Yeah.
I mean, there's been a couple situations in my life that have been like that, but it's been a long time. Like my world's pretty safe, knock on wood.
But I can guarantee without a shadow of a doubt that you are not one that is grabbing your phone and filming something like that.
No, that was kind of Eric's whole point when he was talking about it, is like, are you going to grab your phone? Or are you going to do something?
Yeah, right.
Like,
well, don't you see, or me and my TikTok scrollings, when everybody the Sphere in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
That's when they have musical performances there, it's insane, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'll see these snippets, and one, it was at Anima. Is that how you say it, Caesar? Anima? Anime, thank you. The guy that's the DJ, right? Anime? Not anime like the, I don't know, Anima, whatever. So these crazy visuals, every single person in the place watching them has got their phone. It's insane.
Filming.
Right. Well, how about just be in it for a moment?
Yeah.
But no, every single person. It's kind of crazy. So I don't even know if we know how to do that stuff anymore.
Yeah, I don't. It's pretty wild.
If you didn't film it, were you really there? Right, I don't know. It's kind of, it's sad in a lot of ways that that's how we experience everything. But
yeah, it is. But we've slowly been trained to do that. And we are all looking for attention. Like everyone likes attention.
Oh yeah.
So we're painting this world on social media about how great our lives are, and trying to show that off.
Yeah, this curated version of what everything looks like. You're right.
It's probably the most frustrating thing to me in the gym. I'm so tired of watching people
get a tripod out
themselves doing exercises.
Yeah.
It's just like, gosh, like I thought we were doing this for ourselves.
Yeah.
But I guess not.
Doesn't
I don't know.
seem as much where you are now.
It's not as bad where I am now, depending on the time of day you're in there.
Sure.
Yeah, but
that never used to be a thing.
Ever.
You used to get kicked out if you were trying to do
that.
Yeah. I don't know why.
One day I will be a part of a gym that doesn't allow that.
Yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, that's one of my big goals. Is to be a part of a gym.
Go back to old school. You don't get to do that.
You don't get to do that. You're coming to this place to take care of yourself, to better yourself.
Right.
Not to display something to the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's an influencer now. That's why. And it's hard when I can understand when you're making a lot of money doing it.
But there's very few people that are making a lot
that kind of money. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
That is like probably more rare than you would expect.
Yeah. I have no idea what kind of following you have to be making a lot of money.
Yeah, I've talked to a lot of them.
Yeah.
At deep levels, like honest levels, like how lucrative is this? And it's very rare that it's super lucrative.
Yeah.
Actually, I met one guy, it was very lucrative for him, and he hated it.
Yeah.
He wanted out so bad.
But it's hard to walk away from the money.
Well, he couldn't get a job because one of the things, he was all tatted up from like the neck down.
Okay.
And he wanted to go become a police officer, and they wouldn't hire him because of all the tattoos.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he's like, he was like stuck in it. And it was a very lucrative career for him. But he was like, look, like I have no privacy.
Yeah. Because people walk up to you and say, hey.
And when he's like, and I got to expose every part of my life. Like that's what people pay for.
Right.
Is seeing how I live and what I do. And He's like, I got to film everything. Like, it's crazy. He's at a point where what all these people are doing for attention, he has to do, and he hates it. It was a really interesting conversation.
Well, now it's even evolved more than that to OnlyFans, where you're paying, for even more curated. I don't know. It's just, it's insane.
Yeah.
It's definitely not helping us.
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's causing more harm than good, personally. But
yeah, this is where we're at, right?
Yeah. And we're also on the older end of the spectrum.
This is true.
So we didn't grow up with it.
Show your cute little new.
Oh yeah.
This was a birthday gift.
Little coffee mug.
Yes. So cute. I love it. Yeah, you're right. We are on the tail end of it. Well, we still remember what it was like without.
Yeah. Or like my kids have, since day one, that's all they've known.
Right.
It's a part of life. So
just a lot of boom, 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 constant. Yeah.
Yeah. It's super addictive. I mean, I have a hard time once I get locked in, like, oh my gosh.
Well, my thing, and I know this is totally counterintuitive, but at the end of the day, I want to sit down in my chair and just scroll. It feels so relaxing, but it probably is really not the best thing.
I think it's major dopamine hits.
Oh, is that what it is?
I think it's causing problems with dopamine. There's something to that.
Yeah.
That where a lot of us are addicted to dopamine hits. Because you notice like everything's super quick, super fast.
Right.
So I think that it gives us hits of dopamine.
Okay.
Because it's hard to separate from it.
Yeah.
So I mean, dopamine, like same thing. Like for example, nicotine triggers a dopamine response. So it's very addictive to that.
Sure.
I believe that social media and things like that, it's like YouTube Shorts and all that are very like just dopamine hit. So it feels good and it makes you really addictive, and it's really hard to break that addiction response.
Well, I think some of it is good. There's a lot of information out there that I'm really glad that I get. But what I've started to do is just say 9:00 my phone goes off. I would love to say 8 p.m., but sometimes things come through that I need to respond to. But I'd love to say 9:00 my phone goes off, which is what I've been really good about doing, and then I don't look at it very first thing.
Yeah.
But that's also hard.
Yeah.
When you, if you got to look at your phone.
Yeah.
Clients are reaching out saying, "Hey, I'm not going to be there, or can I be 10 minutes late, or whatever."
Yeah.
You need to be able to see constantly.
Yeah.
So that's part of the problem.
Last weekend on Saturday, I detached my phone.
Did you?
It was epic. I went a whole day without.
Was that where you got your massage and the woman beat you up? Is that
bruised spine?
Yeah.
Whatever. Massage is massage.
Yeah.
It was still, as bad as it was still a nice break from everything. But I didn't jump on social media at all. I still had it there in case like one of my kids called or something, needed something, but it was really nice to just detach.
Did you find that hard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a few times a day like, I gotta look at my phone. Like, no, you don't.
You're fine. You're fine.
It's a Saturday. No one needs you.
Yep.
You're not working with anyone today.
Yep.
You're not missing anything on social media.
Yep.
And it's habitual. Sometimes I pick it up and I won't start. I'm like, wait, no.
Don't need it. It's okay.
My goal is to get to a day where I have one day a week where I'm just detached from it.
Yeah.
Because what I notice about myself is I'm always looking at it. I'm shooting hoops with my son. Like, does anybody need anything? Does anybody need anything?
Is there a way? I know you can do emails that say if you email someone and it says, hey, Brad Davidson is out of the office right now. He will return this date. If you need something, please, blah, 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 blah. Is there a way to do that with your phone, I wonder?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah,
like
that'd be kind of a cool thing.
That would be a really cool thing.
This is our new app that we're developing, Brad.
Oh, God. I don't want to get involved in anything new.
I know. You've got your hands full. But
it's a great idea for someone out there.
Yeah. So that people know, okay, you're safe. Things are good. I just, this, or I'm taking an hour break. I can't imagine that there's not something like that.
There's got to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll dig into that. That's a good idea. Because I would love
because
that.
It'll do it when you're driving.
Yeah.
This person is driving right now. They'll respond to you when they get, maybe the same kind of thing, a push message to people to say, chill the fuck out. They'll get back to you shortly. I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was telling my kids that I remember life before there was an answering machine.
Mm-hmm. That was a huge thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when we got our first answering machine with like the little tapes.
Yeah. Yep.
They're like, what?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Or call waiting was a big deal.
Yeah,
too.
I remember call waiting. Yeah. Yeah.
And going back home it's not flashing. There's no messages.
No one wants to talk to me. Yeah.
Yeah. That was always
so funny.
That's kind of stuff I know it's mind blowing for the kids today, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it's funny. We just did it in different ways, right? Like we were locked into our landline. Mm-hmm. So we were home more.
Right.
Because how you interacted was you either on the phone with them or you were out with them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more personal interaction, I think.
Well, I think about, is Isabel driving yet?
She's about to.
Okay. Imagine her out driving and you don't know how to get a hold of her.
Yeah, it's crazy to me.
Right? And I feel the same about my kids. But our parents didn't know how to get a hold of us.
No.
You're driving. They don't know if you got in a car accident or not.
Yeah.
It's vastly different.
Yeah.
Sometimes too much information is not good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. But
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's crazy how all this stuff affects
stress,
our bodies.
Yeah.
There's so much to that.
I know.
But it's a hard one to grasp.
We're taking baby steps, Brad. We're taking baby steps. First step is the awareness.
Yeah.
Okay. Now then we can chip away at it slowly, I think.
And the other thing I've been dealing a lot with people, I think we talked about this a little bit in an episode or two ago, is people are so focused or overly stressed about very small details. I always like to explain to people, like, there's boulders and there's pebbles that are roadblocks.
Right.
Like, focus on moving the boulders first before you start picking at the pebbles. Like, sometimes people come in and they're so hyper-focused on these things they've heard about. I'm like, wait a minute. How did you eat this week? Well, what do you mean? I'm like, did you have like 3 good meals a day? Did you stay away from processed food? Did you not have any fast food? Did you cut out your sodas this week? Well, no. Okay, then don't focus on that little thing that you're being triggered by in social media, saying that this is the
new thing to be concerned
This is the new
about.
horrible thing to be horrible. Like, did you exercise steadily throughout the week? Did you meditate throughout the week? I would much rather someone focus on getting meditation in multiple times a week versus trying to pull out some small issue. That's a scary thing. Like, I heard that's a bad food for me.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Research isn't super clear on that yet, but we do know that if you meditate multiple times a week, that would really, really help. So I always like to remind people, like, focus on the boulders first. Are you sleeping well? Are you exercising regularly? Are you eating healthy foods? And are you getting unhealthy foods out?
Yeah.
Like the ones we know, like processed foods and sodas and, the candy.
Like little mini bundt cakes.
Yeah, exactly. But it's really hard.
Yeah.
Because we're so overwhelmed with all these things are bad for us.
Well, that changes all the time too, though, Brad. We hear, a 1 minute this is bad, then it's good. And then so that's also stressful.
Yeah. And I also, a lot of times people come to me, did you hear about this? Like,
that's me.
Well,
that's me.
Yeah, you are one of those. It's like, well, no, I haven't. But let's look into what you just heard about. Like, just because someone said it's bad, let's look into it. There's a few people out there that are really good at fear-mongering to get people to buy their products.
Yeah.
Dr. Mercola was like kind of one of the first ones of that. And he would get people to buy crazy different products through fear-mongering.
Yeah.
But these people are like, oh my God, I gotta take this supplement to save my life. It's like, well, if you meditated 15 minutes 4 times a week, that's gonna be much more effective. But Dr. Mercola says I have to take this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a pebble.
Well, we all know that we want the quick fix, Brad. That's how we are, human nature.
100%.
Yeah. A pill? Cool. Give it to me.
Yeah, but how has that been working for us?
Yeah.
Like, win the lottery, great, I'm super rich now.
Yeah.
How will that work out for people versus the tried and true way of creating a life to earn that kind of money so you know how to handle that kind of money? What is it, 90-some% of people that win the lottery are bankrupt within a matter of a couple of years.
That's crazy.
There is no quick fix. There is no little pebble you're going to remove that's going to completely dramatically change your life. Unless all your boulders are removed and you're sleeping well, you're meditating, you're working out regularly, you're eating well, then all of a sudden now a little pebble can have some impact.
Yeah.
But to go and remove a pebble or freak out over some new fear-mongering thing that's a pebble will never change your life.
Yeah.
It'll get you to spend money. It really, it'll get people to spend money.
Yeah.
There are some people very close to me in my life that I had to tell them finally, like, if he says it, don't respond to it. If he freaks you out over something that says the answer is to buy this, I want you to stop buying that. Because you got a cupboard full of all those things that were supposed to change, and none of them worked.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of them out there now. Now social media is very easy and very convincing.
Yes, 100%.
It's a very convincing tool.
Yeah.
But always remember, focus on the boulders first, because I got boulders I still got to remove.
Sure.
every person I work with, there's at least one boulder in the way.
What's my boulder?
What's that?
What's my boulder?
Your stress. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And again, like you're probably the most dialed in person I work with in regards to all your major boulders.
But that creates stress too, ironically. I'm like, okay, this is perfect right now. So what, you know, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a whole cycle.
Yeah.
Thing. And I'm so aware of when my sleep is off.
Yeah.
And that just, that wrecks me. It's amazing how I see on the Oura Ring, I really do.
Yeah.
Resting heart rate, not great. HRV, not good. You know, all the things. It's crazy.
Yeah, but you actually listen to that.
No, I do.
You will actually respond the right way to that.
I try.
And versus most people see it like, that can't be right.
Yeah.
I feel great. No, I'm not gonna, I can't do that today.
Yeah.
I got to go work out really hard. That's what I'm saying. Like you've removed the majority of the major big boulders.
Trying.
Yeah. No, you have. You're not trying. You really have.
I think my final frontier is really doing the Jenga game of how to have my schedule. Like this little tweak that we've made that I don't see you on Monday, Friday anymore. I know Monday, Thursday. It works a lot better for me. I'm noticing that I don't feel so jammed when I come in here to record this. You know, it's like I taught, I saw you, I did it, I got a shower. You know what I mean? It's one less thing. And then Thursdays are my day off, so I may teach, may not. It's kind of a nice thing.
Yeah. But the way you have it set up, that's why your blood chemistry is so good.
Hopefully.
That's why you look how you look. That's why you're as strong as you are. Like you have done a great job at removing majority of the boulders that are in the way for people.
Yeah.
So you should be proud of yourself for that. And I give you props for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Still,
and when I say
still a whip though, still a work in progress though.
Well, I mean, okay, nobody will ever be perfect.
No, I know. But I just want to get to the point where I am not spinning out about things. I think it's a personality trait for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely me. One big boulder that is still in your way.
Yeah. And I'm so good at it.
Yeah.
Spinning out about things. I really am.
I've noticed from like, holy shit, did you hear about this? We gotta talk about this. I'm like, whoa, like, no, one, I haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
It's, two, like, where did this person hear about it? Like, where are they getting this information?
You know what I got? I test drove today though, is a set of workout pants and bra top, leggings and bra top that are non-toxic. What? Don't laugh. They're not plastic. There's no what? Don't laugh.
I can't not laugh.
Why? I just wanted to see would they work during my workout, and they did. You know, I taught class, very sweaty environment, worked out great.
Perfect.
Yeah. So now the way I think is those. You know, people love to live in their leggings. All day long. You know, even if they don't go to the gym, they're just going to throw on leggings and run around all day long. Probably not best case scenario.
Yeah.
You know, so these now I know. Hey, if I want to run around in leggings all day, this would be a better choice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel good about that.
That's good.
Yeah.
Question to you. How do you know if it's working or not?
I just believe.
Okay.
You mean that it's not made of microplastics?
Well, no. Like, one, how do you know you had a microplastic problem?
Because most leggings are made of stuff like that.
Okay, but how is it like how has it been affecting? Here's my here's my problem with all these fear-mongering pebbles.
Yes. How do I know it's a bad thing?
Yeah. But how do you know that it was a bad thing for you?
It's a bad thing for me because I'm spinning out about it. So there you go.
So why are you spinning out about it?
Because I'm good like that.
What have you seen to make you spin out? Like, what is the proof to you that says, oh shit, I have a microplastics issue?
Because we all do? Is that the wrong answer?
That's not proof.
Okay. All right. Because we all ingest like a credit card size of plastics and I don't know.
But how do we know that? Okay, how do we know that you don't detoxify them well? Because here's the thing is that people can detoxify much better than others.
Okay, fair.
So, like, I just want to know, like...
I don't, but I am all about stacking the deck in my favor. The things that I can control, I want to control.
So my next question is, how do you know switching to that is actually benefiting you?
Don't. Blind faith.
Okay.
Blind faith. And just, I mean, if obviously I'm the perfect candidate for a placebo, right? You tell me something is going to work. Okay, it's working. You know,
so many of these things, there is no
way to check it.
There's no way to check it. Like, is it doing anything for me? Did I even have a problem in the first place?
Yeah.
And now that I made this change, is it helping me? Like, shit, what if the new stuff you bought is toxic with something else?
Hemp based.
Okay.
It's a hemp based product.
So that's all it is just a hemp? It's just hemp?
There's some, I don't know, I should have known this before I began
so
talking
that's always
about
like the stuff that as I start to think about it, because what I learned is like, Okay, well, how do we know the stuff it's made of is better or worse than the stuff that was the other stuff's made of?
Right.
Like, this is where it gets all jacked up.
I know.
And so this is where people are freaking out, spinning on everything.
Right.
And they don't really know
Yeah.
if they, one, have a problem with it, and two, if it's helping the strategies they're doing. Even with supplementation.
Yeah.
I mean, you can use blood chemistry to see if you're doing better or worse before and after something.
Sure. That's why I'm excited to see this thing we're trying, this lingo, this.
Oh yeah. We'll talk about that in the future. But I just a new thing we're implementing at the weight room called the Lingo. It's a 24-hour glucose monitor.
Yeah.
Because there are food Nazis that say this food is bad for everyone. This food is bad for your blood sugar.
Right.
This food is good for your blood sugar.
Yeah. Everybody responds differently.
After watching the glucose monitors with multiple people, no. Like what's good for my blood glucose may be horrible for yours. Yeah. Again, now we have a tool we can say, no. White rice is not bad for you.
Yeah.
Everyone else says, oh, the shit, that's horrible for your blood sugar.
Yeah.
Some people it is, some people it isn't.
Yeah. And the benefit of knowing that is what, Brad?
It keeps your blood sugar more stable. If you have high blood sugar, the higher your average blood sugar levels are throughout the day, the faster you're aging. It's not good for us.
Yeah.
So for another great example is I can see my sleep cycle. If I get up at 4:30 a.m. versus 5:30 a.m., those are two drastically different days of my average blood glucose levels. My average blood glucose levels are about 13 points higher when I get up at 4:30 versus 5:30 over the 24 hours. So it's
a snapshot in 24 hours is what
you can go 6 hours, 12 hours. Okay. You can see the snapshot throughout the points, but then it gives you a 24-hour average on things.
I see.
So you can see. And then what's cool,
I just put mine on, so I'm really curious.
Yeah. So one day my son had a tortilla with some cheddar cheese and ham on it.
That's called a quesadilla, Brad.
Quesadilla, thank you. And I was hungry, so I ate one.
Yeah.
It blew my blood sugar through the roof.
That's crazy. So it was the flour tortilla.
Yeah, the flour is obviously the flour tortilla. Because then another time I had some sourdough bread with an omelet, and my blood sugar didn't even get to 120. So, okay, good. So I know that sourdough bread does not have a negative effect on my blood sugar like a tortilla does. So it's just really interesting.
Yeah.
Jay was using it. Rice cakes blow his blood sugar through the roof.
Wow, and that's such a bodybuilder thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, what's funny is he was like, "This is crazy." A rice cake blew his blood sugar through the roof. He went to Shake Shack on a cheat meal and had a burger, fries, and a milkshake. And his blood sugar hardly went anywhere.
Wow. Why do you think? Who knows?
It's just how his body responds to these different foods.
Interesting. Okay.
He was like, "This is crazy.
Yeah.
Like it should be the polar opposite."
Yeah.
But there's a scenario
maybe because there's fat with the burger. Do you think?
It could be.
Yeah.
Could be. But I mean, there was a lot of carbs in that meal.
Sure.
It's still most people going to go eat that Shake Shack meal, and it's going to be a nightmare in blood sugar response.
Right. Huh.
But for him, it was the rice cake that was the nightmare, not the crazy meal. So
the more you know.
Yeah, it's really interesting. But we're kind of running tight on time, so I have to wrap this one up. Apologize. I got to get to school to pick up my son.
Yeah, that's
We got a boys' weekend ahead of us.
Love it.
Can't wait.
Okay.
So
enjoy.
A sports weekend, as he puts it. That's,
okay.
Yeah, so we're going to golf and do all kinds of fun stuff.
Very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
so.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
Awesome. Sounds
Thank
good.
You.